This is a Teach One video about project planning. There are 5 phases of project management. The first phase is the initiation phase. This is where a specific project is carefully chosen to implement. The second phase is the planning phase. This is where a timeline is mapped out and schedules are developed for the project tasks. The third phase is the execution phase, and this is where the team actually carries out what was mapped out in the planning phase. And the fourth is the control phase, when project leaders measure what is actually being accomplished against what was planned. And the fifth phase is the closing phase, when the implementation is complete, the project goes live, the team is satisfied with the work that was accomplished, and I would say this is probably the most fun phase. The mission here is to efficiently implement an electronic health record system in a healthcare facility. The goals for this implementation are numerous. It will enable quick access to patients' records. It will securely share electronic information with patients and other clinicians. It will help providers to diagnose patients more effectively. It will reduce medical errors. It will ensure legible, complete documentation, enhance privacy, and it will make coding and billing easier. It will also reduce costs by decreasing the amount of paperwork and unnecessary duplication of information and tests. And this is a full list of our high-level and subtasks that we will be using to produce our schedule. As we see here that there is an order already listed, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But when we take a closer look, we realize that we will need to reconfigure the order of the scheduling. When we look at patient information, there is no preceding requirement. So that means this will be number 1. And we use that logic to find laboratory, which requires configuration of systems in task 1. That will mean that this will be the second high-level task. This will be the third, pharmacy, and the fourth will be clinical information system. On this screen, we see that Microsoft Project was utilized as the software of choice to input our data, to develop our schedule, and to produce a Gantt chart. And there are 4 high-level tasks for the project, as we see here: patient information management, laboratory, pharmacy, clinical information system. At the top of the screen is our full project timeline. The project will begin on Friday, March 11, 2016, and will end on May 16, 2017. And this is the same information provided here. Electronic health record implementation will take 308 days, and the same dates are provided here. Let's look at our patient information management and subtasks. We see that our patient information management, which is our first high-level task, has 4 subtasks, which we will also be using to schedule. Let's take a closer look at our high-level task and subtask screen. We see that patient information management will take 51 days beginning on March 11th, 2016, and will end on May 20, 2016. One feature to point out here is our predecessor, which is circled in red up here. And we see number 4 and a number 4 here. This tells us that for this configuration of patient registration to begin, we must complete the configuration of Enterprise Master Patient Index, which is number 4, and that's why the 4 is also placed here as a predecessor. And the same thing applies to 6, which is configuration of patient registration, must be completed before configuration of admission, discharge, and transfer can proceed. The screen shows us a critical task and path. Microsoft Project provides a very wonderful tool under our Format tab, which is called Critical Tasks. If you click onto that, this will produce a Gantt chart on the right of the screen, and you'll see in red bars designation of our critical tasks that will have to be performed. The same process continues for a laboratory, which will begin on May 16th and will end on July 1, 2016. We see there are also more critical tasks under laboratory that will have to be performed. And pharmacy as well continues. Pharmacy will take 58 days and will begin on June 27, 2016 and will end on September 14, 2016. Now, some configuration, as we'll see here, for example, configuration of inpatient, outpatient pharmacy will begin on June 27, 2016, which will be simultaneously occurring at the same time as the training under anatomic pathology. And finally, we input our information for a clinical information system, and we will follow the same procedure, inputting all of our subtasks, inputting our predecessor, which will then produce a complete schedule. So when used properly, a project management software is a very valuable and powerful tool to utilize when undertaking complex and detailed projects. Microsoft Project that I utilized here was very user-friendly. The program has a lot of useful features and functions that allowed me to get a full grasp of the entire project as it proceeded from the start to finish. The program is also very highly intuitive. And the use of the Gantt chart also provided me a very visual representation of critical tasks and path that I and other project managers and other responsible actors who are working on a project can use to effectively and efficiently execute the project. So, thank you for watching.